Primary. Today's word is primary because we're gonna check the primary chain tension on the old Sportster here. And we're gonna see if it is up to spec, up to par, up to OEM quality, up to OEM tolerance. And yeah, should be a pretty simple video. I've never done this before. I'm just gonna put that out there. If you guys are following me step by step, you'll learn by my mistakes first before you make the same mistakes, or to prevent you from making the same mistakes. You can just follow me and I'll show you the mistakes not to make. So how about that? Just coming off a fresh oil change, a fresh primary fluid change, and fresh oil filter. So next we're gonna check out the primary chain and make sure the tension is proper. That way she is running at optimum performance. So first things first, I'm gonna get this girl, I don't know why I always have to say girl, but I'm gonna get this hog up on the stand here. It will come in handy this time around. Not so much for the oil change, just because it's more in the way than useful. Let's go ahead and figure out a way to do this in this very organized garage, as you guys can see. Alright, where were we? Now we got the bike on the stand, kind of awkwardly placed in the garage, but I'm making room with what I got. We're going to be checking out the access cover. This good old access cover here. That'll give us access to our primary chain. I believe that's a 5/32 Allen head on both of these with 2 O-rings and then also a gasket. So be careful with them and you may be able to reuse them. They seem pretty good the last time I opened this area up, so I'm looking to reuse mine, but we'll see. Grab our 5/32 Allen head, pop this baby off. 2 screws, 1 little O-ring with the bolt here. Same thing with this side. O-ring's hiding in there. Looks like it's in one piece still, so it'll be good to reuse that one. Also have this here. Little gasket goes on this cover. We're gonna go ahead and put the bike in 5th gear. That way it will allow us to rotate the engine and try and check for different tension points along the whole length of the chain. There's first, second, third. I don't know if it's gonna work. Might have to hit the back tire a little bit. Just the third, fifth. Alright, there's 5th gear. So here's a good look at the primary chain. You can see this thing flexes well above the case there. So you're really only looking for about 3/8 of wiggle room. So we're gonna rotate the tire in 5th gear and find the loosest point to the chain, because it does vary depending on where you are. So let's see if I can rotate this baby. Jesus. Oh, quite the compression going on there. You can always remove a spark plug or 2 as well. That's probably like a 1/4 inch past up above where you can't see. So that's pretty damn loose there. Let's see if I can rotate it one more time, turn it over again. Oh. Yeah, that's a little tighter there. Check that one. Alright, I think I'm going to start adjusting it at this point. This is probably the loosest, sloppiest area. Well, shoot done diddly, I messed up. I actually started making my adjustments to the chain at the loosest point, and apparently I read the manual wrong and it says to do it at the tightest point. So I think I'm going to back this one back off, go loosen it a bit, back to where it was about, which makes sense because you don't really want to adjust the chain at the loosest point. Then that means the more snug, tighter areas are going to be extra tight. So it does really make sense to adjust it in that manner. So we'll go back to our original adjustment. Pretty dang loose there. That's probably where we were. So let's get to rotating and find the snuggest point. Alright, you big 1200. Show me that compression. Ooh, that's actually kind of tight there. Okay, back to looser. Back to looser. I really should remove a spark plug. Same. Oh God, it hurt. Yow. Okay, that's loose. Okay. Keep going. That's probably where we started. Okay, so that is gonna be the tightest point there. So we're gonna start with that. It's quite the workout trying to rotate that baby. Glad to know that I still have all that compression. She's still healthy. Well, it turns out we're really not that far off of adjustment. It is a tad bit loose at the tightest point. So it's a little over 3/8, maybe closer to 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna dial it back just a little bit, as in tighten it more. All right, so here we are. We have the inspection cover there. We're moving down underneath here. So we have a locking nut and a threaded body here. So this is going to be a 1/4 inch Allen that goes on the bottom. I believe this nut is a 7/8, and I actually do not have a 7/8 wrench, which is kind of sad. So I'll probably just use a crescent wrench to break that lock nut free. So basically we're gonna go around, pretty much counterclockwise is going to tighten it, clockwise is gonna loosen it for you. So obviously we need to tighten it, so we're gonna do a counterclockwise motion, and I'll kind of show you guys the adjustment as I slowly twist it up and tighten the chain. Shouldn't be too tight. This is my first time breaking this loose, so it looks like the shaft is also rotating, and just this little bit here, I'll show you what I see. The shaft and the nuts moving at the same time. And check out our primary chain. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So counterclockwise is up, and then clockwise is down. So that'll give you the right rotation, depending on if you want to loosen it or tighten your chain. Pretty straightforward. You just kind of have to figure it out. One way loosens it, one way tightens it. It's really not too hard. So now we got to find that sweet spot and get it adjusted right. All right, so let's put our 1/2 inch Allen in here. 1/2 inch, is it 1/2 inch? I think I got that size wrong. Is it really? It's a 1/4. 1/2 inch is way bigger. Should have known. Should have known. Just disregard that little false information. So I'm just gonna loosen up the lock nut while holding the shaft with the Allen head. You guys can see that. Just a little double action here. That way we can get some more rotation on our adjustment shaft. Backed it off a couple turns. So again, 3/8 to about a 1/2 inch is what you're looking for, or what's factory. Again, I'm no expert. I'm just a guy in a garage trying to learn some stuff and also recording my journey along the way, because we all were there at some point in life, right? Everybody's got to learn sometime, but I guess everybody doesn't have to put it on the internet for everyone to make fun of you. But that's just the way it rolls. Oops. That's the way that I'm doing it. Okay, again, I'm just backing off that lock nut a little more, that way I can get more adjustment on the shaft here. Boom, 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 boom. A little rotation counterclockwise, bring it up a little bit. Check our deflection. Okay, we're getting there. It's not going above the whole casing now. So we want a 3/8 to a 1/2 inch. So it looks like it's right about 3/8, because it's about a chain length or chain width of deflection. And according to the manual, that's what you're looking for. But this chain was definitely out of adjustment. My bike has barely over 20,000 miles. So I'm gonna go with this adjustment right here. So pretty much just scaling it based off of where it hits the frame here, where the casing meets. The chain and the casing are pretty much flush with each other. Not too tight, not too loose, just right. So the only real test is to ride the bike and see if it makes any weird noises, or if something's different, or if everything is even better than before. I really don't know the difference. The bike wasn't really making any weird noises before, or no question that something was going wrong within the primary area. It was just something I wanted to check and be sure that it was at the right tension before I would, ruin something in the future potentially. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go on ahead and tighten up the lock nut, get the cover back on, tighten up the bolts, and I'll go for a little test ride in the morning, ride this baby to work and back, and update you guys if anything changes or if anything weird happens after this little adjustment. Nothing like working on things in your garage late at night, having a little me time. Little me time. Little shmee time. Gotta love it. It is important. It's very important to have your own time alone. Keeps you sane. Keeps you a little more sane, you know what I'm saying? So be sure when you're tightening this lock nut to not rotate that shaft anymore, because you already have your correct adjustment. So make sure you hold that Allen head still while you rotate your lock nut tight, which is again counterclockwise. And be sure to double check it when you guys are all nice and snug. I'm not really sure the torque specs on that, but just get it good enough. There we go. Everything still seems the same. Everything is in tip-top shape and ready to ride. I'm really trying to sell this thing, you know what I'm saying? Now this thing's pretty awesome. It's flat. It's pretty much like a strip light. Very narrow, The only bulky part is the battery on the side. It also has a couple different modes you can use. We got the super bright, not as bright, and then we got the spotlight on the side, and also the not so bright spotlight, and then off. Another cool feature on this thing, it's got a little wave mode, where if you're like don't want to touch it because your hands are all nasty, all you gotta do is do a little swipe, and it comes right back on. A little swipe, and it goes right back off. My eyeball. It's a little annoying sometimes because you can just be close to something, and like you pass a wall or a door or something and it'll go back on. It's pretty sensitive, but it is a pretty cool feature. And it also gets a little warm on the head. That way, if I do wear it, I wear a backwards hat and put the lamp over the hat. That way you don't really feel any of the heat or the warmth. It's really not that bad. It's a little more annoying in the summer just because it's so, the humidity, and it's just miserable. But it's very doable with the hat on. And yeah, it's definitely a pretty cool light. Pretty cool little gadget to have in your toolbox. I'll link it down below, or you can just use my coupon code WRXDUDE at checkout. And yeah, you'll save yourself, you know, 10, 15%, whatever it is. Feel free to check it out if you want. So, inspection cover. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's nothing really to it at all. I've never done it before, so it was a first for me, adjusting the primary chain tension. So, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I did use the blue Loctite last time I had this cover off, so I didn't put any more on because enough is enough. We'll just do a little, just snug enough. This thing's cool to tinker on. It's pretty fun to tinker on, I gotta say. Not only do I got my Subi, I got a Harley to tinker with as well. Kind of switch up the content a little bit. I know, you know, 2% of you watch the Harley stuff, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. Start bringing other viewers in to the channel. So with that being said, guys, I'll turn this thing off. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, this little chain adjustment. I hope it can help you out. Hope you learned something. Hope you learned what to do, what not to do, all that good stuff. So if you can, leave a like, subscribe, comment, whatever you feel like doing. Thumbs down, even though no one sees it anymore. It's kind of sad. Yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching, thanks for checking it out, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We'll see you on the next one. I'm getting too old for this. My knees are buckling.